Hey, it's David Beckham, BreezeFlippers. I'm back in my comic corner, so I thought I'd cover with you guys the books we just got back from CGC. We just received back the last group of 11, and the grades were, I learned a lot of things out of this one, let's just say. And this really was my first time I've submitted anything to CGC, so it is a learning lesson, and there's some things I probably would do different. There's some things I did okay on, but I thought I'd share the ones that I got back and kind of talk about maybe why I sent them, or maybe the reason why isn't that great. I probably won't send any off for several months, just because I'm kind of waiting for CGC to get their wait times back. Plus, I think I've learned my lesson. I'm definitely not going to have CGC do any of my pressing, because I can't be for sure that they actually didn't do something to the pressing when they pressed them. It just seems kind of odd that some of these, I didn't see it when I was looking at it, but again, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning the whole process. So the first book that I got back, I just like the cover, I'll be honest with you. This is Amazing Spider-Man 346. It is the Venom appearance, and you can see, it's just a cool cover, right? I kind of thought that it was good, but I think they ended up saying it had fingerprints in the top left-hand corner of the cover, and it had some spine stress. And I did look at it, and it does look like, the thing is, though, what kills me is they're not color breaking. They should have been pressed out. So that's the whole thing that kind of bothers me about this. I honestly think this could have been a 9.6 or a 9.8, minus the fingerprint. I don't see it, but I don't know why when you send a book off to be pressed that, you're kind of expecting that the spine stress would be taken out of there. So anyway, it's a 9.4, but again, this is, I think it's a Venom cover by Eric Larson, and it was, comes back a 9.4. So, but I like the cover on this one. This one is probably going to sit on my display for a while, just because I liked it. So next one I sent off was The Amazing Spider-Man number 202. This one is not a key, but it is an early Black Cat appearance, so it's not as significant. It does have the Punisher in it, not the first appearance of it. This one came back in 8, and I think it said multiple crease on the cover and then spine stress lines that color break. And I finally did notice it, that in the black there is one little color break on the spine, but the rest of them are just they should have been pressed out. So again, not real happy with the 8, but what are you going to do? So I'm going to live with it and take it as a lesson learned. I will tell you that I've been researching a little bit and did find, I think it's the Palm Beach presser. I'll throw him out a little, some props, because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this guy. So if I send off some books in the near future, it is definitely going to be to him first, because I've seen some of his work on Instagram. So I think if you follow him at Palm Beach Presser, you'll see a lot of really good stuff. So probably going to go that route next time, and then have him basically ship it directly to CGC for me. So, and then that way, he can also pre-grade and tell me if I'm making a mistake sending it, because I'm still learning what to send and what not to send. But this is the next book. It is Spider-Man 204. It's a minor key. I think it's a second full appearance of Black Cat. This one came back a 7.5. And again, it was because of fingerprints, front right center of cover, and which I can see the fingerprints. But honestly, I thought for sure that cleaning the book and pressing it would have taken some of that out. So I don't know. It may be one of those books at some point. It's not really worth cracking and sending in to be redone. But this is, again, it's Black Cat appearance, and then Dr. James Harrow's cameo. So came back at 7.5. It's not going to be worth a whole lot to sell. Some of these that I did get graded, my intention was to sell them, because I wanted to make more to get more. So that's really the whole point. The next two that I got back are actually ones I was planning on keeping, but we'll see. They came back at 9.6, and so this is Deadpool number 3. This is not a key, but it is part of the 4-part series of the Deadpool Circle Circle Chase, and this was his first solo series for Deadpool. So it came back in 9.6, and actually now I have all 4 copies that are graded. I have 1 and 2, and I think I showed those before, and then I have now 3 and 4, and they all came back in 9.6. So anyway, the cover's cool. I mean, this is kind of a neat thing. It'll look great when I'm gonna display these up. If I sell them, it's probably going to be all together as one group, because I think it'll do better. But I may just keep looking and see if I can find the rest of them, because you can buy the whole set right now, I think somewhere between $30 and $40. You can buy all 4. So the goal is to kind of move it up at some point and try to find a different one. But this is the number 4. I kind of like the number 4 cover on it, but I will tell you that the challenge with these covers, well, at least for number 1, it may be this one too, because this one came back and it said it was just spine stress. And again, there's no color breaks in the spine. So what I don't get is why it wasn't pressed out. So I feel like I wasted my money with them in pressing. And again, lesson learned. So not going to beat that horse to death because I could and I should. But they should have gotten some of those out of there. But I think these are all embossed covers. So I don't know, maybe you can't press, you can't press an embossed cover, but these aren't embossed. Number 1 is embossed, but I don't think 3 and 4 was. No, they're flat. So I know number 1 couldn't be pressed for that reason, but I don't know. So anyway, they're all 9.6s, not terrible. I mean, 9.6, 9.8, there's a difference. They're probably worth somewhere between $80 and $100 each. So if I decide to sell them at any point, I will make my money back and plus some, so it'll pay for some of the other stuff that I did make mistakes on. But the reality is, it is what it is, and you can't win them all. And I'm learning. Again, this is all a learning thing for me. So I did send this one in. This is Omega the Unknown number 1, and it was number 1 book. So I thought, well, it is a minor key. I think first appearance of Omega the Unknown, and it came back in 8.5. Now, I kind of knew that this one's going to be close, because this is right on the cusp too. I think it's, what year is this book? 1976, I believe. Yeah, so this is 76, so it's right almost to, to the age right before where it would be considered more vintage, and it would cost more to do. But I sent this one off, but they did end up saying that it was multiple crease covers and spine stress line covers. So, again, like I said, I thought some of that would be pressed out. I mean, yeah, I can see some of it, but I mean, it is an older book, and it did get an 8.5, and the value of it kind of drives the 8.5 is definitely going to drive the value down a little bit, but it is kind of a nice cover. It is a number 1 issue, so that might help it to sell. The next one I got back, actually got really happy with this one. This was Amazing Spider-Man 410. And this is a 9.8, so it came back at 9.8. I kind of thought this one was going to be a 9.8. I knew that they could be pressed and cleaned, and I mean, it was a clean book to begin with, right? So there really wasn't too much they could screw up on that one. But this is the Carnage appearance. So again, pretty cool looking book. It's got a decent value on it. Probably 80, maybe to 100. I don't know, somewhere in that area. Most of the books that I looked up, I wasn't going to send off unless I knew I could get something back for them. Like I said, some of them I'm keeping because they're going to just sit on my shelf, and I wanted them for my own personal collection because they were either something I really liked or something that I found interesting, or I liked that cover art. I'm a big fan of the older cover art of stuff, just because I think, again, I might have talked about it before, but I just think it's crazy to me that these guys used to draw these by hand and color them by hand, and all the stuff that they did. Not that it's any different. The stuff that's coming out now is amazing, but it's all, they draw it by hand, obviously, but it's all on the computer, so the lines are cleaner and different things, but you can't hardly beat the old art. I just love the colors and the way it worked. This came out perfect. Amazing Spider-Man 362. This is some minor key, I believe, but it's Carnage and Venom and the Human Torch appearance. So it came out in 9.8, which is perfect. So this one actually probably the more valuable one I got back. I think I've seen comps anywhere from $120 to $150. It's going to be hard to sell this one though, because I like this one. So it may sit up. I think this one's going to be displayed up there alongside of the Deadpool ones. So at least that's my plan for a while. And you know, I have a strategy, and if you ever go on my website, you go to our web store, doohickeysandwhatnots.com. You can go to the eBay store through that, or you can find us at BreezeFlippers on eBay. You might see some of these that are on there and they're priced really high, but I'm doing that for a reason. I know that at some point somebody might make an offer, but I'm not going to put them up there for, you know, I'm not trying to sell them quick. It's a strategy. I get to keep them for a while. So I have some back here that I really like behind me that are priced a little high, but I'm going to start kind of, you know, getting those down a little bit so I can sell them off and get different ones. So next one I got back was, again, just another cover that I kind of liked, but it was the Fantastic Four 245. Not a key, but it is one I think Frank Richards, when he redevelops his, Franklin Richards developed his power in there, but came back in 9.2. And let's see what they said about it. It was spine stress lines again, but you know, it is a newsstand cover, and I don't know. I mean, again, you think that pressing would take out the little spine ticks. That's what it's supposed to do, but it did come back at 9.2. Not a big value on this comic. Be fortunate if I could make my money back for the pressing amount. Probably can. I mean, somebody's gonna want that for, you know, 40 to 50 range. This is another cover that I liked. Fantastic Four number 258 came back at 9.6. Not great, but it is not a key, but it is the Doctor Doom storyline. And I just kind of think with, you know, Doctor Doom getting ready to be coming out in the next year, I think, or the next movie that comes out either next year or the year after, these might go up in value a little bit, even at a 9.6. Again, not a key, but it is a cool cover when you start kind of looking at the claw and Doctor Doom and the reflection and, you know, the cut in the back. I just think it's kind of cool. So found that one fascinating, and you know, so I sent it off. Again, like I said, I sent it off during a time when it was pretty cheap to send off. So I was kind of just, you know, taking a chance and see what I could come back. And the last one, I really was hoping this one would be better because the value would have gone up significantly. But this was Deadpool number 1. And this is the first issue of Deadpool's ongoing series. So it is a minor key, but not a major. But it's got some cool artwork. And again, it came back a 9.2. And the reason they said was a crease in the top left corner, cover breaks color, and then spine stress. So I looked, and I guess it said top left of front cover breaks color. So it looks like it may be at the very top corner, but you know, I kind of expected it. I guess I kind of expected that it might be less than a 9.8, but I also knew that it was a first issue and it's a collector's issue. So, and I'm a Deadpool fan, so I thought, well, I'm gonna get this and try it and see if there's any chance that I can get something back for it. Again, at a 9.2, probably not worth a lot. It's probably worth more to me. So, but that was all 11 that we sent off. You know, I mean, obviously at the top end, you know, I might, if I got the top end, there may be $700 or $800 there, somewhere in there, worth of comics if I want to sell them all, and then maybe the low end estimate between 5 and 6. But I may take a look at ones I want to keep and which ones I want to sell. I am definitely looking at some other ones that I want to send off, but like I said, I'm trying to wait. I will use the Palm Beach presser for sure this time, but I have about 6 or 8, maybe 10 signed comics that I know the signatures that I have on there. I may send those off and get those done all at once, even though those cost a little bit more, but they would come back signed. You get the yellow label, and I know they were signed. I have COAs for them, but just something I might do. But I'm just kind of waiting, because what I'd like to do is some of the ones I sent off and I've talked about before, I definitely want to get those on the market. So we will have a bunch of these. I've photographed many of them, especially the ones I talked about the last time. And I've got these. I started working on these yesterday to see which ones I want to actually put up and which ones I want to sell. So you can find this, again, if you look at BreezeFlippers on eBay, you'll find us there. We also sell on Macari, but again, a little bit different. But we do have some of the same things over there. We obviously cross list using List Perfectly. So, but yeah, take a look for us and see if you want to see any. There's also a link to our store in our bio on YouTube. Love to hear what you guys think. So if you have some comments, give me some comments. Teach me something about comics. I'm learning. I'm still learning every day. I read a lot and I look at a lot of stuff, and I look at other people's sites, and I read and watch a lot of YouTube videos. Follow a bunch of people that talk about comics, and like I said, I'm trying to learn about it because it's something that interests me. So, and that's one of the things. If you find something that you're passionate about, you'll do more with it. So that's one of many things. I'm also trying to learn trading cards. I've just kind of started getting into that. Went to my first show a week ago, and picked up a few little things, just fun stuff. Actually bought some comics there too. So I'm going through those as well. But I think it's kind of fun because I'm just kind of learning a lot of the things and trying to pick up some different niches and things that I want to learn about, and potentially maybe either start selling on, or buying and selling, or collecting and doing some different stuff. So that's it for me today. I hope that maybe you saw something here interesting, or maybe you might have some comments that you want to leave. I'd love to hear it. If you can, like and subscribe to our channel. We will do some more talk about comics. I'd love to be able to show some of the other stuff that we have in our collection. I may talk about some other like raw comics and such too, just kind of throwing some things out there and seeing what people think, because it is something that is, again, interest to me and maybe interest to other people. So, and if you're just kind of starting to learn about comics and learning about what to collect and how to collect, it might be kind of fun to do that with other folks. So I did get a press. I am going to learn how to press comics. I did get that from a local store here. A guy had Multiverse Comics as a shop here in our town, and he gave me a press. He said he had one that came in on a deal that he bought with a bunch of comics, and the guy gave it to him, and he said, here, just take it and learn with it. So I'm going to use it to learn to press some comics. I have started trying to learn how to clean them. I'm starting to learn to press them so that I can take a little more interest in it and really kind of know it better and learn more about the grading portion of it. So anyway, that's it for me today. I'm David Beckham, BreezeFlippers, and we'll see you later.